So here's the Radiomaster, which we're going to program to do the things I showed you in the previous video. It's very simple to program. You're only going to be using a few buttons: the return button, the page right, the page left, this roll bar, which when you press it is like an enter button. You can just hear the click. We're going to look at this dial, we're going to look at this switch, and we're going to look at the switch which is on the back of the transmitter, and we're also going to be using this part of the switch to enable a pinch mode when going upwind. So that's what we're going to do. So to get access to the mix screens, we need to go into the model setup, and we can navigate. The model setup has a number of pages. Second one we don't. First one is the model name, where you can enter the model name. That's all we need to do on that particular screen. The second one we don't use. It's a helicopter setup. The third one is flight modes. We don't need that. The fourth one on inputs, we just need to make one tweak. We go down to the throttle, click enter, and you'll get this edit screen. Click on edit, and you want to scroll down to where it says weight, and on your screen it will say 100. Click on the 100, rotate the scroller to the left, and you can reduce it to 85. And you need to do that so that you've got room in the system to do pinch mode and other bits of setting. So, one word of warning: if when you put your number in, you press this enter button, you get this G1 symbol, and you think, what on earth do I do now? Well, if you hold the enter button down until you get a 0, you can then move that back to 85, which is where it should be. And then instead of clicking on the right hand bar, click return, and that will lock the 85 into the system. Then click return again, then again, and you're out, and we can move on to the next screen, which is going to be the mixes screen. Now, how do the mixes work? If I start with aileron, so I've already pre-programmed the systems in here, so let's just look and see how those were set up, and then we'll go and look at the numbers so you can replicate the numbers and your transmitter will be programmed. So if I click on aileron and I get insert, edit, insert before, insert after. If I insert a mix after, then I get this screen. Now I can change rudder. I've got all the inputs available to me. All I have to do is find the right ones, and we're going to be looking at SB, S1 and SF and rudder, and that's all there is to it. And then we're going to adjust. If I click return on that, we're going to adjust the weight. On one of the settings we're going to put in an offset, and that's all we have to do to program our transmitter. So let's come out of that. So you can see I've got this extra mix in here, but I don't want that, so I'm going to delete it. So your job will be to go to throttle, click on enter, go down to insert after, click insert after, and then you're going to be looking to enter these numbers. Apologies for the camera shake. So you're going to be looking, you want to set the source as rudder, you want to set the weight as 20, and what this will do is it will allow you to achieve a high mode when you move the stick to the left. So set that up and then move on to the next one by clicking return, and then scroll down to S1. Now S1 is this dial switch, and this is my favourite switch, or my favourite dial. If I edit that, you're looking to set the source up as S1. You're looking to set the weight up as +10 and the offset as +10. Do that, and then when the sheeting is centered, you center the sheet when the dial is all the way over to the left. As you ease that off, it should ease the sheet 5 to 10 millimeters. So that's that. And then if I hit return again, go down to switch B. So SB is that one. So this is the one where I ease the sheet 5 to 10 meters by clicking that down. And the way you achieve that is by creating a new mix, and then you input the following settings. The source is SB, the weight is 15, and you can play with that number to see what it does. Increase it will ease the sheet off more, decrease it will ease the sheet less. And that's all there is to that particular setting. So we come out of that and we go down to the last one, which enables us to do snap jibes, and that's using the button SF on the back of the transmitter. So the settings for that are as follows. So you want to set the source as SF, you want the weight as -80, and you want the offset as -80 as well. And that will do everything you need to do a snap jibe. So before you connect to a receiver, I'd recommend you just check the behavior of your systems. Go back to the home screen, just keep clicking the return until you can't go back anymore. And then you want to, on the main screen, there are about 5 windows. And you want to move to the window that shows the stick positions. So you can see here's a stick, here's a stick, and then if I come to the left, here's my sheet, and then here's my rudder. Now, if I've eased the sheets, I can use my pinch mode. So if I move the rudder to the left, you can just see the sheet going in and out. So that's what gives you your pinch mode. Then if I'm sheeted all the way to the center and I want to ease the sheet 5 mil, say, I can just flick the switch and you can just see it moving. So that tells you that the switches are behaving correctly. And then finally, if I sheet out, I can simulate the snap jibe. I press the SF button on the back and you see how it just sheets in instantly. Now it works with a RMG winch. I've got a J series winch on the battery. I believe it'll work with a Stinger winch. In fact, I know it'll work with a Stinger winch. But when you test this sheet in, just press the button momentarily and just make sure it doesn't, you haven't set it so that it'll break the winch, i.e. the boom comes all the way into the center and tries to come in more. If you set it at -80, as we did, then it'll bring the boom in probably just over the quarter, and everything will be fine. So that's it on the Radiomaster Transmitter. I hope you have success with it and look forward to hearing any comments. Thank you. Bye.